In John Grisham's movie, The Rainmaker, Matt Damon says that when you commit a murder, you make 25 mistakes, and later you're lucky to remember 5 of them. Well, I'll contend that in running a dental business, the numbers are pretty similar. Do 5 things right and 25 things wrong. Last month in Australia, a group of exceptional dentists heard Dr. Omar Reed say that here in the US, 95% of dentists on reaching the age of 65 had not reached their Independence Day. That's the day when they could walk away from their practices if they so wished to. They were still financially tied to their drills. They had to keep working. 25 mistakes, lucky to remember 5. Doctors, have you ever said at some point in time to yourself or to a staff member, haven't seen Betty Jones for a while? Now, you remember Betty Jones because she's a long-term regular patient of the practice. Regular hygiene, mouth completely restored, and she accepts the diagnosed treatment as you present it. And then one day you just think, where's Betty Jones? We haven't seen her for a while. I'll bet that for every one Betty Jones that you remember, there are 10 other patients just like her slipping through the cracks in your office and out of your appointment book, never to return. They say the number one reason our valuable patients leave our practice is apathy, and perceived apathy from our staff and team members towards those valued patients. A survey by Bain & Company of 362 non-dental businesses found that while 80% of those businesses believed that they provided exceptional customer service, when Bain surveyed 3,000 clients of those businesses, they found that only 8% of those clients believed that they were receiving exceptional customer service. Doctors, today I'm going to give you 3 tips that you can take back to your office and immediately start using that will impact on the way that your customers enjoy their dental experience. We all know that improving customer service is the simplest and most cost-effective means of improving your practice bottom line, and this will get you headed towards your own Independence Day sooner. So my first tip for you is to study other businesses. Study the big guys. Study Disney, study Zappos, study Neiman Marcus. But sometimes the most amazing experiences are right there in front of us without us even knowing. Does anyone use these in their office? They're a heatable, moist towel. 57 cents. $58 will buy a small microwave oven. We've put one in every treatment room, so at the end of every appointment, the patient is given a warm towel to wipe their face. I can't tell you how many patients look forward to this and remark with a comment like, "Oh, it's just like being on an aeroplane." Secondly, think outside the box. The humble post-it note. Doctors, have you ever sat there over a patient and forgotten whether their name is Diane or Diana? Or worse still, have you ever forgotten the patient's name completely? What we do is Dale Carnegie said that a man's name to him is the sweetest and most important sound in the language. So what we do is we have the dental chairside assistant write the patient's name on a post-it note in large letters, and then it's strategically put on their bib, so it's right there in front of you every time you need it. We also get the assistant to put the patient's next appointment date on the bottom of the post-it note. This saves so much time at the end of every appointment because the chair comes up, the post-it note gets lifted off, and you say with authority, "Mrs. Smith, I'm looking forward to seeing you at your hygiene visit in October." And you can't believe how they like your attention to detail and the fact that you haven't had to go to the computer screen for the information. Thirdly, how about a seating diagram for your client lounge? New patient arrives, they get asked to make themselves comfortable, and then their attire is noted, but also their seat is recorded. So when it's time for them to be brought to the treatment room, the dental chairside assistant comes straight to them, addresses them by name, exchanges pleasantries, and then personalises the transfer. Simple. Finally, doctors, you need to have a system for customer service. Do you have in your office a customer experience cycle? Because I'm telling you that if you don't have a cycle, if you don't have a system, if you don't have a plan of how, what, where and when, you can't really be giving good customer service. Some people say, oh, you just have to be nice and be nice to everyone. But while we're being nice to someone over here, we could be dropping the ball big time over here. So what is a customer experience cycle? In our office, we worked out that we actually have 3 cycles, 3 separate cycles, and over 50 stages in those cycles. Interestingly, the doctor only touches with the patient 3 times in each of the 3 cycles, which means that more than 40 times the team members are responsible for touching with the patients. Interestingly, the doctor's doing something over here, something else is going on over here. Remember Damon said, 25 mistakes, lucky to remember 5 of them. So there's no point in being exceptional 9 times out of 10 if we're consistently missing something here. It doesn't matter how good we are over there if we haven't got a system. For example, your valued patient rings up to confirm an appointment and they get told they're being put on hold without even asking who it is. How frustrating is that? They could be on hold for minutes. But we say, oh, we're nice to them. We say please and thank you. But that doesn't wash if 1 or 2 times out of 10 we're consistently dropping the ball over here and we don't even know we're doing it because we don't have a system. So building a customer experience cycle system does take time. But it is cost effective and it is a fun process. What it does do is it does encourage employee buy-in. They get empowered because they get to build their own stages and create this comprehensive document, and they get to identify the cracks in the system, and they get to fill the cracks. More importantly, doctors, for you won't know what you don't know until you go through this process. Doctors, I challenge you to listen to what I've had to say. Take my advice. Begin the process of building your customer experience cycle. Carry through and commit. And what you'll find is that you'll go a long way to covering those 25 mistakes, a lot better than Matt Damon.